So I've seen a lot of stuff with the Luna, the UST. You got Azuki now, Bored Ape Yacht Club guys going with the Yuga Labs thing, and it's just a lot of people are losing a lot of money right now with all these floors dropping on NFTs, with price of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies across the board collapsing, and then not really collapsing so much as crashing due to the UST Luna thing, obviously the economy stuff, and just I've been there. I've been in. Yeah, I've been investing since I was 18. It's been. I don't look. I guess maybe I look older than I think I am. But I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been through a lot of stuff. And at the beginning, it was devastating, stomach churning, throwing up, especially when you get stuck in scams. I was at one point, my first investments were like penny stocks. I was, and I lost like $3,000, which was a lot of money to me back then. I was making $5 an hour minimum wage. So $3,000 took me forever to save up on some penny stock scam, which was a real bummer and a life lesson. I've obviously, I've lost money along the way as well, and other types of things. I've made more than I've lost, fortunately. But when you get that loss in there, it does a number to you mentally, emotionally, in your gut. You get this feeling, and just as I've gone through this several times, and I see some articles now, people or posts. I don't know if they're real or not, but I know it happened back in the day too. And like when the Great Depression happened, people do unfortunate things to themselves. They take their own lives over money, and I just want to say don't do that. Don't do that. It is just money. It is just money. There are people that are unhappy that are multimillionaires, and there are people that are happy with nothing. Money, if you've paid attention to anything in the government lately, they just print it. It's just printed on a piece of paper. It is no different than this right here. It's no different than that. There's no difference. There's a lot of difference here, though. So this skin, this human being that exists, there's a lot more people that rely on that in your circle than rely on money. You can always make more money, even if you feel like you can't. I mean, look at KFC. Guy started that thing when he was in his 60s and became a billionaire. I mean, the amount of money that people can make, think about Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. These guys made this kind of money within 20 years, massive amounts of money. So there's always an opportunity. There's always another day. Live to fight another day, so to speak. But live, don't do something reckless. And you may feel terrible. You will. I mean, I'm sure you will. I did, what happened to me. And I have my days as well, where it's like, oh my God, why did I do that? I knew it was a bad decision. I should have done this. I should have done that. And hindsight's always 20/20. Always 20/20. I should have sold my Bitcoin when I had it in 2017 and bought back in 2018, 2019. I should have done that. I mean, I should have sold, all my Bitcoin at 68,000, and bought back in now, right? I mean, or, buy back in a year or so if it crashes even further. I mean, there's a lot of decisions that we can make that we can look back on and regret, or you can think about it as making the best decision with all the information you currently have. And if you make a bad decision, mistakes are okay. That's how we learn. We learn through mistakes because they're emotional. And I encourage myself to make mistakes. I encourage my kids to make mistakes and learn from the mistakes. I don't punish for mistakes, and I don't think people should punish themselves for mistakes. I think in school we are punished, we are programmed, so to speak, to punish ourselves or to be punished for bad grades, mistakes that are made, things like that. And I think what we should do is use the mistakes to encourage a different approach, a different thought process, learn where you went wrong. If you got into, I lost plenty of monies on NFTs when I first got into them because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't pay attention. I didn't stay by my rules, learn about something before I invested in it. I said, oh, everybody's doing it. That seems cool. FOMO, you still fall into the trap. You still do, over time, you just fall into it a lot less. That's just part of the process, And I just see it's very sad to see people. You heard about that one kid that, with the Robin Hood thing, where he unfortunately took his life because of the way Robin Hood just displayed that he had that. Even if it was $1 million that, let's say, he owed, I mean, you have your whole life to make $1 million. And that seems like a lot, but it's not anymore. Like it's not a lot of money anymore. So there's so much wealth, there's so much money out there to be had, that it's, a few thousand here, 100,000 there, it's not much anymore. When you broaden your horizon, you just pay attention to the entire global world. And I just feel people have a very, unfortunately, a small viewpoint on that money's everything. They teach you to work for it, they teach you to earn it, but they don't teach you about it. And about how it's just printed. I mean, look at how much the government gets to just keep printing it into oblivion. And so I would say, they don't get to print humans. You don't print humans. They take a long time to develop. They take a long time to grow. You took a long time to become who you were and be where you are. A lot longer than it took for them to print that dollar that you lost, or the 50,000 you lost. I mean, they're printing so much per day that it's per minute that I wouldn't even. It's a blip on the radar what you lost in comparison to the amount that's printed daily. So I would just discourage you from doing anything irrational and dangerous, and just think about it as a learning opportunity. It's a harsh one. It's going to hurt. But the beauty of the pain is remembering. Most men are less emotional than women, and this is why I feel that in situations like this it becomes more painful, because you're struck with a very hard emotion that you don't really maybe experience daily. And the good thing about that is that you'll remember it, because you remember more things that you have an emotional that become emotional to you. That's why I always tell my wife she remembers everything, because a shirt is emotional to my wife. A shirt to me is just a piece of clothing, right? But it allows you to remember things, and hopefully by remembering what happened last time, you learn and you figure out where you went wrong, so that in the future you won't make the same mistake. You'll still make mistakes, and that's okay. And it's totally okay to make mistakes. Absolutely, 100%. Don't ever let yourself not know that. But making mistakes and learning from them is the beauty of growing and becoming who you are. Because the dollar, it makes the mistake of printing constantly, but it never learns from that mistake. And you have the ability to learn and grow as a human. And I made a lot of mistakes when I was first trading, when I was first learning, when I was first making money, and now I don't worry about money anymore. And it's freeing and it's good, but it took a long time, and it took a lot of mistakes and a lot of learning along the way. And I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So I would encourage you to learn from whatever mistake that may be. Don't feel discouraged. Don't do anything unfortunate for you or your family, because that will be more painful for them than the money. If you lose your child's college fund, their scholarships, obviously their student loans, they're just giving those away, it seems now. But there's no you, right? If you're a mom, dad, if you're a brother, sister, whatever it may be, there's no more you, right? And I can guarantee you that your family, if you're gone, would pay 10, 20, 50x for you to still be here in dollars that you lost. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully it helps somebody.